Over the last 2 weeks, we killed it with the lock of the night plays, going 5-0, but unfortunately, we get reverse swept in the dog of the night plays. And even though we had some decent underdog spots hit for us, I did not choose the correct dog of the night plays, and we ultimately, like I said, go 0-5 for -5 units, obviously on minus 100% ROI there. We had Billy Goff for UFC St. Louis, and then we had Ramiz Brahimaj after that, who just could not get out of the hold of Themba Gorimbo, who just wanted to just control that matchup, it seemed like. And it was weird that Gorimbo tried to apologize to the UFC, saying he wanted to get a finish. He was not looking for a finish. He was looking to just hold. So let's call it as we see it in that aspect. And then Billy Goff, in terms of losing to Trey Waters, I was expecting him to have a little bit better of a gas tank and a little bit better of ability to actually cross the pocket and land some big damage, maybe even land some takedowns as well. But Trey Waters was really on that night, landing his big shots. And even though it seemed like he was slowing down as well, he was definitely getting the better of Billy Goff that night. So 0-2 there. And then obviously another 3 Ls on the regional events that I took some dog of the night shots on. And that now drops our yearly record for the dog of the night to 18-37, minus 9.81 units and a minus 18% ROI. Again, we were up about 10 to 15 units last year on the dog of the night play. Hopefully we can get back into the green here. Need some rallying on these dog of the night spots, and I feel pretty good about a few of the dogs this weekend, but there's only one that can actually be the dog of the night play for UFC 302. I will give you guys 3 candidates in this segment. If you guys want to know which one I actually went with as the official dog of the night play, you guys can find that out at the MMA Lock of the Night Patreon page. Link for that is in the description below. All right, let's get right into it. First candidate up is going to be Mitch Raposo, coming in at plus 205, going up against Andre Lima. Now, Raposo is coming in on short notice here, and he has been given some previous UFC interviews. Obviously, he was on The Ultimate Fighter, where he was the #1 overall pick, I believe, for Team Volkanovski, but ended up losing his first fight to Ludovic Shalinian. Then he came back on the Contender Series. I believe that was a short notice spot where he ended up coming up short against Jake Hadley. But this is a guy that has solid potential. You know, he was 22, I believe, when he went on to The Ultimate Fighter. Still very young, but since that loss on the Contender Series, he's put together 4 straight victories and showcasing an improved striking game. But it's really his wrestling and ability to control opponents on the ground that make him so effective. And I've said in the past that Andre Lima is a guy that's just waiting to take that first L. He has great striking, and you'll obviously have the striking advantage here, but he is a guy that will struggle when other opponents are able to dictate the pace. We see Lima utilizing usually a low volume striking approach, and although his defensive grappling has improved and he's, throwing up submissions and slowly working back to his feet, if an opponent can keep up a high pace, high cardio, and high activity, I fully expect Lima to start dwindling in deeper water, and I think that Raposo is more than capable of utilizing that approach here to be successful. At plus 200, I think Raposo has what it takes to go out there and pull off the upset and showcase to us that Lima is a little bit more of a flash in the pan more than anything in the spot. Talented, but I think more completed fighters will be able to get him out of there, and I think Raposo is more than capable of that, especially at this plus 205 line. The second dog of the night candidate I have for you guys is going to be Cesar Almeida, who comes in at plus 110, and I see the line moving on some bookies here, and maybe even by the time I drop this video for you guys, he might end up being the favorite, but I do like him in the spot against Roman Kopylov. Almeida comes from a kickboxing background where he has, I believe, over 40 professional kickboxing bouts and victories as well between kickboxing and Muay Thai, but very slick with his striking. The most impressive part of his game is the fact that his takedown defense and get-ups have been making it very difficult for his opponents to hold him down, and that allows him to eventually keep working back to his feet, get back out into distance, and start letting loose with his strikes, and I think he'll be able to have the striking advantage here over Roman Kopylov. Now, Kopylov has been looking great as of late too, obviously, other than his loss to Anthony Hernandez last time around, and I don't expect Cesar Almeida to go out there and try to out-grapple Kopylov, but this could be a competitive striking battle early, but as this fight starts going into deeper water, I fully expect Almeida's style to come out a little bit more successful, and we know Kopylov does start to slow down, and he was the beneficiary of fighting guys during that 4-fight winning streak he was on against guys that had questionable durability and even questionable cardio as well, which is why he was able to get them out of there. I don't think he'll be able to get Almeida out of there, so I think Almeida will make it tough for him early, and then start pulling away late and eventually find a knockout of his own. So at plus 110, again, and possibly becoming the favorite by fight time, I think he's worth a shot even as a small favorite if he ends up getting into that range. The third and final dog of the night candidate is going to be Paulo Costa at plus 200, taking on Sean Strickland here. A little bit surprising of a line here on Costa, who has been a fan favorite in the past. And I think the best part of him now is the fact that he's jumping into competition so quickly after his loss to Robert Whittaker a couple months back. I think we saw in that Whittaker fight that he is more than determined and ready and clearly in shape to try to go out there and try to make a run to the middleweight title once again. And I think stylistically speaking, the way he matches up against a guy like Sean Strickland here could prevail for him in this spot. We saw him struggle with the in and out movement and karate type striking style of Robert Whittaker last time around. But here against Sean Strickland, he's getting a guy that he can actually exchange in the pocket with. And we've seen Strickland struggle with guys that have big punching power. Dricus du Plessis, Jared Cannonier, Alex Pereira. Say what you want about a couple of those decisions there. It's clear that the judges were scoring the more impactful shots that were being landed by the power punchers compared to the volume striking style that Strickland normally implements. And I'm a big Sean Strickland guy. I've played him at Chalk in the past, and I'm more than happy to say that he could potentially make it into a potential title fight once again. But I think that the way he matches up with Costa and showing that Costa is motivated and ready to go out there and slug it out, he can make it very difficult for Strickland, especially when they exchange inside the pocket. Obviously, Strickland will be making it very difficult for Costa as he continues to stay in his face, put the pressure on him, throw volume out there. But if Costa can stand his ground, throw power in return, he might even be able to knock out Sean Strickland here. Remember, it's 5 rounds as well. So at plus 200, I think Costa has much better chances than those odds indicate. And there you guys go. The top 3 Dog of the Night candidates for UFC 302. Reminder, a ton of other great content coming out this week for UFC 302. Not to mention I have ACA breakdowns coming out on the Lock of the Night Patreon page. And also on Sunday, I will be dropping an Ultimate Fighter 32 primer for you guys where I go over all 16 competitors so you guys know what to expect once the season kicks off on Tuesday. And I'll even provide a power rankings in terms of who I think, might go number 1 and who I think will win each division as well. So make sure you guys tune in for that on Sunday evening. All right. Good luck on all your action this week, folks. Tomorrow, I will be back Thursday for the quick picks version of the UFC 302 card. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.